Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now December 14th of 2021, and we're only getting closer to the official release of the Book of Boba Fett, as well as the unveiling of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We're going to be learning a lot more about all of the new Star Wars TV shows and the entirety of the roadmap at Star Wars Celebration next year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things on there from time to time, and make sure to interact with you guys further. So what's really all the more exciting right now is the fact that we do have a lot of the TV shows that are currently being worked on by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, Bob Chapek, and others out there, such as Deborah Chow and Robert Rodriguez doing a lot of work for the Book of Boba Fett. I myself cannot believe that we have a lot of great new creators coming on board over at Lucasfilm that are really going to bring everything together. However, when it all dwindles down to everything related to Jon Favreau himself, I mean, this is the man that's really pouring his life and soul into really making Star Wars possible and to really kind of turning things around for the better. So when we go ahead and examine everything related to what's been going on with The Mandalorian Season 3, to the Ahsoka Tano series, to the marketing of the Book of Boba Fett, everything seems to be working in order right now, very smoothly. The process is going very, very well. However, there have been a couple of hiccups and bumps in the road with the Star Wars universe with one particular Star Wars TV series. That, of course, involves Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland of Star Wars The Acolyte, and how it actually involves Jon Favreau. Now, this is a big deal because this has been going on for a number of weeks now, and recently, finally, it has come to a close. So, let's get right into it. Now, this, of course, involves Favreau mixing in with Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland and what's been going on for the Acolyte TV series. So, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars projects like Star Wars Ahsoka and even the Kenobi series, it's described that creator Jon Favreau has been making big adjustments behind the scenes for the Star Wars universe. Currently, Favreau is on the road to success with his new Star Wars shows for Disney+. However, as of recently, Jon Favreau has been having some trouble with one of his Star Wars projects that he is developing right now alongside with The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, it's described that recently Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy made the ultimate decision to finally take Jon Favreau completely off from the Acolyte TV series, where he is no longer allowed to either supervise the project nor use some of his canon concepts for the Star Wars series. Further, it's described that Kathleen Kennedy has recently been having some problems with Favreau being a part of the Acolyte TV show in different ways ever since he got his promotion over at Lucasfilm. This allowed Jon Favreau to regulate the Acolyte TV series in order to prevent it from creating an imbalance with the Star Wars canon with other Star Wars TV shows. So let me just stop right here for a second. In case you guys did not know, Favreau's promotion over at Lucasfilm allows him to take advantage of many of the projects that he's not even directing and/or writing. A Kenobi series, of course, is a great example. Now, the Star Wars Kenobi series is all done by different creators. John and Dave were minimally involved, but ever since they got their promotions, they were able to supervise everything of what's going on during post-production. So they're going to be calling the shots on some of the editing skills and some of the overall structure of the actual TV show and the overall tone and how it's going to fit more in line with the vision by George Lucas. Moving on. So, this was described to have been a long struggle between both John and Kennedy, and recently, Kennedy took things up with the higher-ups over at Disney to not allow Jon Favreau to interfere with the Acolyte series, given that Favreau was actually trying to prevent some of the canon from being established by Kathleen Kennedy for the show. This led to Kennedy getting very frustrated and growing a grudge with Favreau, pushing his work into the High Republic era. As of now, there is said to be a struggle between both Favreau, Kennedy, and Leslie Headland, and that Favreau has now been given the door and will no longer be supervising the Acolyte series at all in any way, shape, or form. So, once again, let me just pause right here, because this, to me, it's nothing that I'm necessarily worrying about, but it is something to take into account here. This goes to show you that when Favreau got in trouble by Kathleen Kennedy over pushing his ideas into the Acolyte TV series, pushing his overall concepts, just trying to make sure that things are going to stay in line with the vision by George Lucas. This once again proves that Kathleen Kennedy does not care about the overall true philosophy of Star Wars and what it really stands for. So this works, of course, both ways for Favreau. Not only does it give Favreau more time to focus and supervise other Star Wars projects, but also this also provides, of course, to the fans that Kennedy does not respect Favreau trying to stay consistent with the quality of Star Wars TV shows and handling the lore properly. Now, it's said that Favreau stepped in, giving that, of course, the show is going through massive problems, and that some of the new lore choices are going to be quite controversial against the prequel trilogy movies once they are introduced with the Star Wars universe. Now, as Leslie Headland said in that interview a couple of months ago, this TV show is going to have quite a number of impacts on the prequel trilogy movies. In other words, she's creating retcons, and that's going to be a major problem for a lot of Star Wars fans out there. It actually falls directly in line with what we talked about back in August of 2021, this year of course. We talked about how the Acolyte TV series is going to use a lot of Leslie's retcons toward Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and how the emerging dark side powers play a role into that. So it really does make one wonder, could this have something to do with Darth Plagueis? Could this have something to do with perhaps a character connected to Plagueis? We'll have to wait and see. Moving on from that. So some of the lore movies, of course, some of the prequel trilogy movies are going to have a different tone or perception from the fans after this show. Now, she is able to do this as she pleases because it's Kathleen Kennedy and it's her show, and kicked Favreau off the project for good. This, in addition, Favreau tried to prevent Leslie Headland from beginning, of course, to hire some inexperienced co-writers for the series that is going to step in to speed up with pre-production processes. Kennedy wants to actually also bring on director Rian Johnson to handle a couple of episodes of the Acolyte TV series for the platform. Now, this is something for sure that many fans disagree with. Since Favreau was kicked off the Acolyte TV series, he has now been able to focus on a couple of more TV shows that are going to be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year, which arrives in May. So, the thing about this, let me just say this, alright? This is one thing that I think a lot of fans absolutely need to know. Favreau now has a lot more time on his schedule to work on The Mandalorian Season 3 and Season 4. The Andor TV show is already pretty much done. He only has minimal involvement with that. But he's also focusing on a lot of other TV shows that have yet to be unveiled and have yet to be announced by Disney. Again, those announcements will arrive this May, one of which is going to be a Darth Maul animated Star Wars TV series, so that's going to be very exciting. They're also working on an Underworld TV show that's going to be live action by, of course, George, John, and Dave. That's going to take a lot of elements and inspiration from the 2007 canceled Star Wars TV series. So I think that we're really heading in the right direction regardless of the trouble that Jon Favreau got into by Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, it just goes to show you that she just seems to create these grudges or these problems or drama. I don't know if it's on purpose, but it just might be a part of her own nature. It's probably just how she is or who she is. And there's no changing people like that. End of story. So, overall, guys, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about the entire situation between Favreau, Kennedy, Leslie Headland, and how he's no longer supervising the Acolyte. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.